What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. As always, I am Brandon, the franchise buck, the greatest of all time, the best in the world, but more importantly, the owner of the world. Let's give credit where credit is due. Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. Order here at planetjerky.net, as well as go to the gram at Planet Jerky. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to help with mental health. Who, goodness gracious, Seal the Deal Wax Seals on the gram, Seal the Deal _wax stamps, as well as you can order at iesportsradio.com/Seal the Deal Wax Seals. We are officially and forevermore, until further notice, visual. We're no longer audio. So make sure to follow us on the Twitter and on the gram, on the Bookie Face, TikTok, YouTube, and scroll on by to IE Sports Radio. Find This is KC Sports. You'll see my face that is made for radio, and you can catch all of our live shows 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on Mondays, as well as, since we're talking about socials, This is KC _IESR, as well as at Real Franchise. Folks, we got a lot to talk about in a short amount of time. We're going to try and make everything fit as compressed and as well as we can be. We are going to go ahead and take a very quick commercial break. Alongside, we're going to be talking about the current, the sporting, the Royals, and what is happening in Kansas City. So stay tuned. We will be right back. This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. We'll be right back.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Episode number 94 of This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. Brandon the Franchise Buck coming at you live in Kansas City. It is 72 degrees. It's the calm literally before the storm. Why do I say that? Because apparently Kansas City and basically Tornado Alley is in tornado watch. What? It's that time of the year, folks. It's that time of the year. Now you have crazy guys like me who don't really get fazed by tornadoes or bad storms or anything like that. You've been around in the area for as long as I have, which is basically all my life. I've lived in Kansas all my life. I've lived in Kansas City for the majority of my life. And then being unfortunately able to witness a little bit of the Joplin tornado back in 2011 and all that fun jazz, which, by the way, there is a documentary on Netflix. I think it's called... it's look it up. It's if you look up Joplin tornado doc on Netflix, you'll find it. But anyways, yeah, that was a pretty crazy day because it was absolutely just beautiful out. And then later on that evening, it started getting really humid, and the next thing you know, for lack of a better term, anarchy happened. So that was pretty crazy. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I got the lights a little bit dimmed here, so I'm not blasting you guys with halogen lights over on my right side or whatever the case may be. But let's go ahead and talk about what's happening. What is happening in Kansas City? Because that is always a topic of discussion for everybody. Like, hey, we just went through the work week. What is going on in Kansas City? But first and foremost, Taryn Rodriguez, the workhorse. Good afternoon, Franchise. Have a great show. I really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for the help and everything that you've done for us over here at This is KC Sports. But what is happening? What's happening in Kansas City? I will tell you what's happening. As of Friday, May 23rd, Olathe Downtown Fourth Fridays. That is a fun thing to do. What is Fourth Fridays? It's the fourth Friday of the month, obviously. Get ready to experience downtown Olathe like never before on Fourth Fridays. Each month, on the fourth Friday of every summer month, we will bring the streets to life with incredible live music, mouth-watering food trucks, unique local vendors, and community. Something that I can find similar to Fourth Fridays over in the Johnson County area, 100 North Kansas Avenue, literally right next door to the Johnson County Courthouse. For those of you keeping track, that's the same courthouse that Tyreek Hill went to once upon a time in a faraway land. But anyways, the best thing that I can compare and contrast with is Old Settlers Days in September actually, and they got the carnival rides, they got vendors and whatnot. It's two separate things, right? So you have one road which is strictly like carnival stuff. So you have your Ferris wheel, you have your merry-go-round gimmicks, and then you have the thing where you throw the darts into the balloons and you win like a sticker, um, stuff like that. It's not crazy. It's not like Worlds of Fun or anything like that, but it's still fun. And then you go, and then here's the grassy knoll. Everybody's chilling. You got your stage where people are playing music and whatnot. And then you go over to the next road on over, and it's just this long road. Like there's like 2 or 3 roads, give or take, and it's just filled left to right of vendors. Um, and you can get like your souvenirs, you can get some crafts, candles, all that good jazz. It's really, really cool. So definitely check this on out this coming Friday from 6 to 9. Doesn't really give you that much of a time frame, but if you're available, in the evening, what have you, for 3 hours, you get to kind of get on out, be with the fam, do your thing, and enjoy yourself for Olathe Downtown Fourth Fridays. Painted Garden over at Powell Gardens is going on, as well as Dinosaurs Around the World over at the Kansas City Zoo on the 23rd and 24th. And then May 25, that'll be fun. Kansas City Symphony Celebration at Union Station. It's titled At the Station, but it's Union Station. That is starts at 5. Concert begins at 8. That's over at 30 West Pershing Road over in Kansas City, Mo. The title basically says, "We honor our fallen, we celebrate our freedom." Sunday, May 25, held at Union Station, Kansas City, and the National World War I Museum and Memorial. The grounds open at 3 p.m. with more than 20 food trucks beginning service at 4 and live entertainment on the main stage starting at 5. Whereas the grand finale will feature stunning fireworks displayed, accompanied by your Kansas City Symphony. I actually know some people that are in the Kansas City Symphony, so that'll be fun for them. So check that on out. That is coming up the 25 of May. Site opens at 5, even though the grounds open at 3. So you can be in the area, the general area, but everything basically starts at 4, and then the main stage starting at 5. So that'll be fun. May 25. Go check it on out over at Union Station. Really good stuff. I am going to be in vacation mode this week, so this is my last show before I go on vacation. And then I believe, according to my itinerary, I will be back in town for episode 95 of this KC Sports. So that's going to be a fun vacation moment. However, it's going to be a long drive home because I'm going to be trying to keep up with everything that's going on while I'm doing wedding stuff and sightseeing stuff and this and that and what have you. So the show never sleeps, if you will. The show never sleeps. And that's what I got to say about that. Is sometimes when you want good things to happen, you just gotta make it work. I'm actually trying to look up what's happening with the nightlife here, because we got the Fourth Fridays, which is fine and great. There's really nothing going on nightlife wise. What about live jazz? Let's check out live jazz. You can check this on out on your own at visitkc.com for all of your what's happening in Kansas City gimmick. May 25 as well, outdoor concert series starting at 5 p.m. to 6:30 over in the Johnson County South Kansas area, 87th Street Parkway and Lackman Road in Lenexa from 5 to 6:30, hour and a half. Goodness, I mean, it's basically just sit back and relax or get up and dance kind of thing. Over at the Grand Pavilion at SoCo Park, Trails Park, and Lenexa's outdoor concert series begins with some great stuff happening. Old School is basically the title for for the music that we'll be playing. What that exactly means, I'm not sure, and they don't say anything about it. But May 25, Old Sound, not Old School. June 1, Big Rick Soul Band. I'm not even going to pronounce June 8th, but it's the mariachi. It's a mariachi band. And then June 15, Shining Star Kansas City. September 14, Flashback Kansas City. And then September 21, Rex Hobart and the Honky Tonk Standards. So again, check this on out. Visit kc.com. That's where you can check out all the what's happening in your local area, more specifically in Kansas City. Let's see here. I think we're going to take another commercial break alongside. We're going to be talking about Soccer Nation. We're going to be talking about Sporting KC as well as KC Current, what happened this weekend, how everybody did, and we're going to segue into that. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a beverage. I got myself my little C4 gimmick here because your boy needs a little bit of a pump in his step, but we are going to be right back for another segment in soccer news and everything Sporting KC and KC Current that has to offer. So this is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We will be right back.
What's up, Pittsburgh? This is Ralph Calise, the host of the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Are you that passionate diehard Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, or just a Pittsburgh sports fan? Then please join me on the Injury Report every Tuesday on IE Sports Radio, the direct feed for all that is sports, and I will update you on all that's black and gold. Have you telling your Pittsburgh fans and friends what's up with Pittsburgh sports. Tune in Tuesday with me, Ralph Calise, the Injury Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go!
Are you a Tar Heel, Blue Devil, Demon Deacon, or maybe even a Gamecock? Do you cheer for the Panthers, the Canes, the Crown? And check out the Carolina Sports Update every week with me, Neil Curtis, to get the latest and greatest on all the sports action in the Carolinas. We'll be talking pro sports, ACC and SEC football, basketball, baseball, and everything in between. We'll even talk a little Formula One racing now and again. So, for the best hour of Carolina sports coverage, catch me each week on Carolina Sports Update with Neil Curtis, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
up, everybody? This is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another episode of This is KC Sports right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Brandon the Franchise Buck coming at you live in Kansas City. 72 degrees. It is humid. We are getting the calm before the storm, as reports say that we are going to be in a tornado watch tonight. I'm not too concerned about it. It's the same song and dance every year, and plus I live in the city. That does not mean, though, that just because I'm probably going to be safe and sound does not mean that everybody else is not. With it being what's today? Today is the 19th. So let's actually read something from Gary Lezak really quick. I want to take a pause on Sporting KC. Let's just talk about the weather here because that's also kind of important. This is coming from Gary Lezak off of the Twitter. Which you can find him at G Lezak, Lezak. Kansas City is in a level 3 out of 5 risk of severe thunderstorms today. There's also a 10% probability of strong to violent tornadoes happening within 25 miles of where you live. This also means there is a 9% chance there isn't one within 25 miles of where you live. And we just want you to be aware, as today may be the most significant chance of a tornado in 2025 in our area. I am through the morning on KSHB 41 with updates. Let me know if you have any questions or save them for a Facebook Live that I will try to do at 8:05 this morning, which was long past. The big thing to monitor is the temperature. There are no thunderstorms forming at this moment to our west. This may allow us to warm into the lower 80s, which would destabilize the atmosphere enough to strengthen the thunderstorm. So basically, long story short, what that means is obviously, as we know, warm air, cold air, when they mix, it causes humidity, causes formation bending on the winds and what have you, and in which case that's where we have all of our storms. Now, the circle of life, the rain actually cleanses the world, and then it soaks it on up, and then humidity and heat and sunlight and what have you causes the evaporation to go on up back into the sky, which causes clouds to form, and then finally enough has formed, and then booyah! All the rain comes trickling down, the circle of life, if you will. That's something I actually learned when I was in sales for water tanks or water heaters, if you will. I guess water tanks, you know. I mean, it's for every purpose in the house. It was supposed to make your water like absolutely cleansed and what have you. I don't know. It's a long story. That's a different topic. But that's what Gary Lezak says as of 5:27 this morning. We have our own Chiefs fan, Zachary Parsley, different Zach. But we have a gentleman who is checking out his own radar. You can check all that stuff out on the Twitter and this and that. But back to sports here, ladies and gentlemen. Just be weather aware and be safe. Don't be crazy like me, like I was back in college, and get yourself a lawn chair and a beverage of your choice and go outside and expect nothing bad to happen to you. So with that being said, God forbid anything does happen, but and definitely be aware of your surroundings and what's going on with the weather, and do not be a hero. It's what they used to tell me in Pitt State Marching Band. Don't be a hero. Well, I did. May 14, St. Louis Sporting KC 2-2 tie, and that's how it ended. That's how the cookie crumbled here. What happened there? You had 2-2 with the scores, obviously. If you're watching this from home, left to right. So St. Louis Sporting, 17 shots for St. Louis versus 18 shots for Sporting, 7 shots on target for St. Louis versus 5 shots on target for Sporting, 45% possession comparable to 55% possession for Sporting, 377 passes versus 462 passes for Sporting. 83% pass accuracy, comparable to 84% pass accuracy. 17 fouls, comparable to 12 fouls for Sporting. One yellow card for St. Louis, comparable to 3 yellow cards for Sporting. 2 offsides for St. Louis, comparable to 1 offsides for Sporting. 5 and 5 for both corners. When in doubt, set it, shout. It is 2-2 tie. That was against St. Louis on May 14. That was the Wednesday. Now, what happened Saturday against San Diego? Nothing. You want to know why? Because it was a tie match again. I really want to get Jen on, or Jess on here, host of Shin Pads and Shenanigans, because she might have a better insight than me. But going again, left to right, for those of you watching at home, we're going to be talking San Diego Sporting. 10 shots San Diego, 2 shots Sporting. 5 shots on target San Diego, 1 shot on target Sporting. 66% possession, comparable to 34% possession. 631 passes for San Diego, comparable to 337 passes for Sporting. 88% pass accuracy, comparable to your 78% pass accuracy. 14 fouls for San Diego, comparable to 20 fouls for Sporting. 2 yellow cards for San Diego, comparable to 3 yellow cards for Sporting. No red cards. 4 offsides for San Diego, comparable to 1 offsides for Sporting. And then 8 corners for San Diego, comparable to 1 corner for Sporting. That's it. 0-0 matchup. Interesting. Back-to-back ties, if you will. No back and forth whatsoever. Saturday, May 24, 7:30, Sporting takes on New England. They will be at Children's Mercy, and of course, all times are Central. TV and streaming, obviously, if you have Apple TV, if you have YouTube TV, all that good jazz, it'll be on the air. But we're taking on New England at 7:30 on May 24. So there is about a 46% that Sporting is supposed to beat New England. However, there is 26% that there is going to be a draw. Let's just hope that there isn't a draw and we can cut the curse, if you will. Let's see here. Going and talking about the women of KC Current. Well, they had that big win on Sunday, May 11th against the Bay, 4-1. However, for those of you that have been keeping tally and whatnot, Orlando versus Kansas City Current. That was May 16, and by God, we beat them. We beat them 1-0. What happened in Orlando? In fact, if you guys remember a few weeks back when I had Richard Harper on the show, aka the Teal Man, he actually made his way on down to Orlando. He actually got a selfie with Mickey and Minnie Mouse. And then, of course, he got to enjoy a KC Current win, which was, of course, Chewinga with the one and only solo goal for Kansas City, who then and definitely took out the Orlando Pride. Left to right, we're going to be talking Orlando KC. So 11 shots Orlando, 12 shots KC, 4 shots on target Orlando, 5 shots on target for KC. 59% possession, comparable to 41% possession for Orlando. 509 passes for Orlando, comparable to 378. 86% pass accuracy for Orlando, comparable to 79%. 6 fouls for Orlando, comparable to 11 fouls for Kansas City. 0 yellow cards, 0 red cards, 0 offsides for Orlando, but 2 offsides for Kansas City. 7 corners for Orlando, comparable to 1 corner for Kansas City. But when it's all said and done, May 16, Kansas City Current beats Orlando Pride 1-0. Checking out the standings currently right now. Kansas City Current is 7 wins, 2 losses. San Diego Wave 5-2, and Orlando Pride 5-3. So Orlando dropped down from number 2 to number 3. Obviously, I know math is hard, Brandon. And San Diego is up on top, or above Orlando. So, I mean, what does this say for them? Well, Orlando's got to come back, but we're not talking about Orlando. We're talking about the Current. They got some tough matchups coming up ahead, and that's just that's just how it's going to be, folks. That's just literally how it's going to be. I'm excited for the women. Actually, I was watching this briefly, um, and the women, they did incredible as always. NWSL standings: Kansas City's at 21 points, San Diego's at 17, Orlando's at 16 points. And then Orlando. I stated this last season. Orlando just had our number. They beat us one time, and then we came back and beat them. But then when it made when it mattered the most in the off season, Orlando beat us and culminated our season. But this is a good start. It's usually first blood that ends up being the top tier when it's all said and done. And so with Kansas City beating Orlando in their first matchup of the season, this is a good start. We'll see what happens the next time these two face you off. Chicago Stars and Kansas City Current, 6:30, May 24. That is a Saturday. Of course, as always, you can watch it free NWSL app, and definitely check them on out. You might even be able to go out to your local Tanner's or Applebee's or whatever gimmick you decide to go out to and check them on out as well. YouTube TV will definitely have it. Check them out. Support the women in teal. They are a phenomenal soccer team. They are just phenomenal women, phenomenal athletes. Obviously, I have somebody on the inside, and Richard Harper, to let me know how the environment is when he goes to a match and whatnot. But that's just that. We love to see it. We love to see it. We love to support the team. We love to support the women. We love to support the men too. I can't really be mad at the fact that it was back-to-back ties. But I mean, you want to see progression. You want to see them grow as a team. If you're not growing, you're obviously not getting better. That's just life advice for you kids. So with that being said, what's Sporting got to do? They just got to keep the momentum. Right now, they are at a dead set momentum right now, which is perfectly fine. I'd rather take a tie instead of losing. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be progressing in the seasons. That doesn't mean you're going to be progressing in the standings. That's not going to mean anything. Win, 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 win. That's what we need. And that's currently what the Kansas City Current is doing right now. Again, May 24, Chicago Stars. They are not going to be taking on Orlando again until August 16. So Orlando has some time to do what they have to do until their next matchup. Kansas City has enough time to do what they got to do to keep the momentum alive and to get ready for round 2 against Orlando over in August. And yeah, that's what I got to say about that. We love to see it. We absolutely love to see a winning soccer team, whether it be men or women. And currently right now it's the women, but that's okay because there's still time for everybody and anybody to play catch up here. Looking forward into our broadcast Monday, if you will. Carolina Sports Update, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Chi-Town Weekly and The Extra Mile are both on at 7 p.m. And then, unless I'm missing something here, Set Point has returned and will end the Monday broadcast at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure to check them on out. It's not just my show on the YouTube. It is about like 25, 30 people, 30 different shows. And it's a week-long thing, 7 days a week, IESR. As well, check me out on the socials. This is KC_IESR as well as Real Franchise. Of course, I have to bring this up. As always, follow us on the Twitter, the Gram, Bookie Face, TikTok, YouTube, IE Sports Radio. Scroll on by until you find This is KC Sports. You will find my face that was made for radio, as I was told once upon a time in a faraway land. And you get to chill out with me every Monday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We love it. We love it. This week is actually going to be kind of crazy for me because the missus and I are going on vacation mode. That will be Friday. So I have 2 days of dispatch, and then we will be on the road down south, and then we'll be making our way over to the Colorados the following week. and it'll be crazy. But that's why it's important to follow me on the socials. This is KC_IESR, simply because of the fact then you know if things are going to be crazy and I'm just not going to make it on the air, which hasn't happened in a good while. And I'm trying to keep that streak going just because my life is absolutely cinema when it comes to responsibilities and craziness and going this and that and yada, yada, yada. Again, Carolina Sports Update will be coming up at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's 2:39 Central Standard Time right now. So I have a few before the Carolina Sports Update. Chicago or Chi-Town Weekly and the Extra Mile, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, as well as Set Points, ending the broadcasting Monday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I actually had somebody ask me last week about Chi-Town Weekly and the Extra Mile. How does that work? Well, same platform, 2 different broadcasts. You can watch either or. They're going to be on at the same time. So if you want to learn some stuff about Chicago, go over there. If you want to learn some stuff about the Extra Mile, go over there. Same platform, though. Just find the title of their show and go from there, folks. It's as easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We are going to take a quick commercial break. Alongside, we are going to talk about the boys in blue. How did they do in the I-70 series against St. Louis? What is coming up for them? And, of course, we got to talk about the ceremony for Mike Moustakis, as well as how is the environment in Kaufman, because it was pretty dandy from the pictures that were sent to me, either text message or on the gram or whatever the case may be. And it looked like everybody was having a great time, which is exactly what we want to see for everybody and anybody. So yeah, we'll talk about that. So sit tight, stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Episode 94. This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We will be right back.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernick, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Are you a Tar Heel, Blue Devil, Demon Deacon, or maybe even a Gamecock? Do you cheer for the Panthers, the Canes, the Crown? And check out the Carolina Sports Update every week with me, Neil Curtis, to get the latest and greatest on all the sports action in the Carolinas. We'll be talking pro sports, ACC and SEC football, basketball, baseball, and everything in between. We'll even talk a little Formula One racing now and again. So, for the best hour of Carolina sports coverage, catch me each week on Carolina Sports Update with Neil Curtis, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
everybody. This is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you. Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daryl Kinsey Jr., and I'm welcoming you to take another lap with the fastest show on IE Sports Radio. Yes, this is the Extra Mile with me and my co-hosts Christopher Lehman and Michael Ward. We talk everything racing from NASCAR to IndyCar to Formula One to limited hydroplanes, endurance racing, the NHRA, and more. So come join us for an hour of great racing talk and a lot of fun as well on the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 8 p.m. only on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another episode of This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. Brandon the Franchise Buck, the greatest of all time, the best in the world, but more importantly, the owner of the world. That's what the gimmick says. All of that good jazz we love to represent. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give credit where credit is due. Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. Order here at planetjerky.net, as well as go to the gram at Planet Jerky. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing, amazing journey to support mental health. Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Go over to the gram at sealthedeal_wax stamps or order at iesportsradio.com/seal the deal wax seals as well. Follow us on the Twitter, the gram, Bookie Face, TikTok, YouTube at IE Sports Radio. Scroll on down until you find This is KC Sports. And check us on out. Check us out live. Check us out from our past episodes. Go on back a few weeks back. Check out my time that I had Jess from Shin Pads and Shenanigans, as well as the Teal Man, Richard Harper. Check out those great episodes. And since we're talking about the socials, this is KC_IESR, as well as Real Franchise. Check them on out. Check me out. I love interacting with people. Today is kind of a somber, slow day today, simply because of the fact 71.9 degrees outside. It is the calm before the storm. Sometime tonight, roughly about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, is where we're going to be seeing some rumblings in the Kansas City metro area, as well as in Kansas. I cannot speak for Oklahoma or Texas or Nebraska or Missouri, past the river, if you will. But it's going to be some rumblings. So just be weather aware, folks. Don't be a hero like me in my past life. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Trust me. It doesn't go well. Let's see here. Let's just go all the way back while we still have some time here. Let's go all the way back and talk about the Royals on May 12th. Against the Houston Astros. 7-5 Kansas City over Houston. Houston comes back 2-1 on Tuesday, May 13th, and then Astros on the Wednesday, May 14th, culminate the series 4-3 against the Royals. 2-1 in that 3-game series. Obviously, a very back and forth game. Houston has always been competitive against us, whether we're in Houston or whether they be in Kansas City. This time we were in Houston, um, and that's okay because it's the Houston Astros. They're a competitive team. They're a tough team, um, and that's just how it is. That's just how it is against Houston. Now, Cardinals versus Kansas City. How did we do? That started Friday, May 16. A lot of my friends were at that game. Your boy had to take care of the Kansas City Crazy, so I was unable to attend. However, Friday, May 16, St. Louis made a number on us 10-3. St. Louis started hitting the balls the second and fourth inning. Kansas City coming back on the fourth and fifth inning. However, St. Louis would answer back on the sixth inning with 4 runs, excuse me. Eighth inning, 1-1, ninth inning, 2, and then when it's all said and done, 10-3 St. Louis. That was Friday, May 16th. Beautiful day, though. Beautiful day. I want to say that was the day. Well, other than the fireworks, but there was a lot of outside activity going on. So that was super cool. Saturday for the Mike Moustakas ceremony, 1-0. St. Louis on Saturday, May 17. Pretty dead end game until the top of the sixth, the top of the sixth inning, with St. Louis hitting one run, but then the Royals couldn't answer back. They had 4 hits, they had 1 error, but other than that, it was St. Louis all day, all day, all day Saturday. Again, another team I can't really be mad at. I can't be mad that we lost against St. Louis. I'd rather lose against St. Louis than say like the Chicago White Sox, for obvious reasons. But to end all be all, we finally got the last hurrah. It was 2-1 yesterday against St. Louis. 2 for the Royals, 1 for St. Louis. Dead end series or innings up until the fourth when both teams got their runs in. Fifth, sixth, seventh was pretty dead on until the bottom of the seventh when Kansas City scored another run, obviously. And then top of the ninth, St. Louis couldn't answer back at all. That was the end all be all. Done deal. 12 hits for St. Louis, 9 hits for Kansas City. And that's that. Currently, the Royals right now are tied at second within the league, going 26-22 currently. Whereas the Cardinals are 26-21 with the National League. So, where does this go about for Kansas City? Well, I will tell you where it's going to go about because the boys are taking on the San Francisco Giants. It's going to be a late game today, probably because of the fact that it's in San Francisco. But 8:45 tonight against the Giants. Jeez Louise, that is, let me tell you, I don't miss those late night primetime football games where the game ends at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then you still have a second wind to like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then you have to wake up at 6 because you have to be at work at 8. Yeah, I don't miss those, and that's what they're trying to do to us. They're trying to take away our livelihoods here. Fubu, MLB TV, Sling TV, NBC Sports Bay Area, MLB Extra Innings, Bally Sports Southwest, Bally Sports Oklahoma, Bally Sports Midwest, Bally Sports Kansas City is where you can watch the game live. Or if you want to go to your local restaurant or sports bar, whatever the case may be, I'm sure they're going to have the games on too. I would be surprised if they don't. It is a Monday, so I mean, you never know, but there's nothing really else going on. So I mean, why not play a Kansas City Royals game against the San Francisco Giants? 28-19, San Francisco currently comparable to 26-22 for Kansas City. That would be the start of the series tonight, and then tomorrow, 8:45 again, and then Wednesday, it's going to be an early mid-afternoon game, 2:45. Everything's going to be in San Francisco, and then later on in the weekend, the 23rd, 24th, 25th, it will be against Minnesota, and then the Royals are back home in Kansas City on the 26th when they take on the Cincinnati Reds and start the series with them. Looking at standings so far with the American League Central, I believe these standings are possibly out of date. I'm not sure. I'm just going to read these off, and if these are off, I apologize because I could have sworn that we had garnered um, some some different numbers here. So currently with the American League Central, as to what it says, Detroit is leading the ALC with being in first, Twins in second, Guardians in third, and Royals in fourth. Um, I'm wondering if things have been altered. And of course, Chicago dead last, 14 and 33. I can't really say anything because currently, right now, at least with these standings that I'm reading, the Royals are second to last in the ALC. So, I mean, what do I know? But fourth in the American League Central, when it comes to the league in itself, that's a different story. We won't go into that. We're not going to get too political about all that stuff. But checking out the Sportsbook Wire. This was posted 5 hours ago by Corey Scott. Kansas City Royals at San Francisco Giants odds, picks, and predictions. Let's just go straight to the predictions, simply because of the fact that we are getting short on time here. They are basically saying that, if I can scroll on down here and find what I'm looking for. So they're basically saying the prediction is the Giants 3, Royals 2, with San Francisco enters Monday riding the momentum with a 3-game sweep against the A's. Whereas, what do they say about Kansas City? They don't say anything about Kansas City. They just go straight into San Francisco Giants mode. So basically, they under the Sports Wire, they are betting or predicting, I should say, that San Francisco is going to beat Kansas City 3-2. Guess we'll find out. Guess we'll find out tonight. If you happen to be awake, I know I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to be doing anything. I'm just going to be doing my own thing. So I mean, yeah, check them on out. 8:45 tonight. San Francisco, Kansas City, and it is it's Royal season, folks. It's probably a good thing that they're over in San Francisco instead of home, because especially with the weather and all that jazz, it's almost like they predict this before the games even happen. And boy howdy, they pick wisely. Again, everybody be weather aware. Don't take any real advice from me, because I used to be a crazy horn, and I would have a lawn chair outside of the dorms at Pittsburgh State University, and I would be watching the clouds while other students were freaking out and this and that, especially being in a small town. The storms are going to be pretty crazy, so just be weather aware. Honestly, just be weather aware. Guys, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate y'all. I've enjoyed doing this show for as long as I have. I am appreciative and humbled at the fact that the show is taken off after I took a leave of absence so many years ago, and then coming back last year. It's almost been a year since I've been back with this show. And granted, it was a 2-host show that changed in December, and now it's just been solo me. So to go from Once Upon a Time in a Faraway Land to like 3 or 4 viewers, if you will, to an abundance of like 300, in such a short amount of time, that's awesome, and I absolutely love it. I wish I had more arms and fingers and hands to control social medias while I'm broadcasting this and that, but sometimes you got to do what is handed to you, and I like to think that I do decently. I'm not the best at it, but I like to think I do decently. So 2:58 Central Standard Time. Carolina Sports Update will be on at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Check him on out. And that's it, folks. That's it. I've got nothing else to say, really. I don't want to beat a dead horse with a stick here. And for those of you in the Kansas City area, or in the state of Kansas, if you will, as well as Missouri, be weather aware. Don't be a hero. Keep out for the storms. Keep your radios on. Keep your TVs on, whatever the case may be. Humidity is not entirely your friend, especially when it's storm season, and we are in May. We're in late May, so the madness is just about to begin, if it hasn't already, in your area. I know St. Louis was just hit with a tornado. So again, I will say this until I'm blue in the face: don't be a hero. Be self-aware. Be weather aware. Take care of yourself. Take care of the people that you love and the animals that you love. Lucky and I will be just fine. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that, folks. Thank you so much for sticking on by for another episode of This is KC Sports. And as always, my name is Brandon, the franchise Buck, the greatest of all time, the best in the world, but more importantly, the owner of the world. This is episode 94 of This is KC Sports, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that sports. Until next week, I'll catch you down the road.